Can I get a motion to open session? And move, go ahead.
Go ahead. Can I make a motion to resume open session at 6 p.m.?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this point, it is, October 1st. Welcome to the Queen Anne's County Board of Ed. Can we please stand? Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we will resume open session. Can I get a motion for that, please?
We did that right.
To move back into open after the pledge. I'm
Yeah, we
reading
did
my
that.
instructions.
Oh.
Don't throw me off.
Review of the agenda, like you met.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta
So then let's do, go ahead.
do the pursuant.
Yes.
Okay. Pursuant to the general provisions, Article 3-305 and 3-104, the Board of Education of Queen Anne's County met in closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, and any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice, and to consult with staffs, consultants, or other individuals about pending or potential litigation.
Thank you. Did everybody have a chance to look at the agenda?
Yes.
Can I get a motion for approval?
I make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the October 1st, 2025 agenda as presented.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. May I get a motion for the minutes for
Sure.
September 3rd and September 10th?
I make a motion to approve the minutes for September 3rd, 2025 closed session, the September 3rd, 2025 open session, and the September 10th, 2025 open session.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now that all the fun is done, award time.
All right.
All on you.
Fastest way to get on top.
All right.
Like I'm tall.
Uh-oh.
No, it's like it's motion activated or something. Anyway. All right, good evening, everyone. So enter the awards portion. So our first award tonight is the Energizer Bunny Award. This award is given to a staff member or volunteer who keeps on going. It's sponsored by Bayview Financial with Mr. Chip Brittingham and Mr. Wayne Humphreys. If you two would join us up here, please. Our Energizer Bunny winner tonight is nominated by Mr. Lou Shepard, principal of Queen Anne's County High School, and I'm happy to report that our Energizer Bunny is Mr. Quandre Wilson. Do you want to come up? Mr. Shepard and friends? Yeah, congrats. So I'll read what Mr. Shepard had to say about Mr. Wilson here. The Energizer Bunny Award goes to Quandre Wilson as Queen Anne's County High School's athletic director and physical education teacher, and along with Coach Shana Corder, one of our best buddies staff leaders. Coach Dre is more than just an athletic director. He is a role model and mentor to many of our students, not just student athletes. Coach Dre pours into our school. He expects student athletes, coaches, and the athletic program as a whole to represent the school and the green and gold standard. Not only is he the first to help raise money or fundraise, but he is also one of the first in the building and one of the last ones to leave. He is willing even to power wash and paint the school bathrooms in the school colors during the summer months, just to help our students and staff. Hence, Queen Anne's County High School proudly announces Quandre Wilson as the recipient of the Energizer Bunny Award and also congratulates him on his upcoming wedding this weekend. My invite must have got lost.
Sorry for that. Thank you.
So the team, you can stay up, yeah. So the next award is our Spirit Award, and again, it's nominated by Principal of Queen Anne's County High School, Mr. Lou Shepard, and our Spirit Award winner is Miss Betsy Ricketts. So this award is given to an individual who embodies the spirit of Queen Anne's County Public Schools. Mr. Shepard says, the Spirit Award goes to Betsy Ricketts. As Queen Anne County High School's career coach and class of 2027 advisor, Ms. Ricketts goes above and beyond to ensure that pathways and avenues are accessible to our students as they approach becoming productive citizens in the real world. Ms. Ricketts brings hands-on learning into the building with Skills USA team building activities, military recruitment activities, and sessions in the stadium. A career day with headshots, interviews, and rotations to over 30 businesses, and provides MVA learner's permit opportunities right within the school. Ms. Ricketts is nonstop, improving the lives of our students, championing careers and trades, promoting the CTE, the career and technology education courses and pathways, and making Queen Anne's County High School a better place. As an alum, her passion and spirit for Lions Nation never seems to tire. This can be seen with the recent approval by the Centerville Town Council for an electronic sign. At the front entrance of the school, and it could not have been possible without the time, effort, and dedication of Ms. Ricketts. Thus, Queen Anne's County High School proudly presents Ms. Betsy Ricketts as the recipient of the Shining Star Award and also congratulates her on her upcoming wedding this October. All right.
I'm on my phone. Yeah, absolutely. Bring your money. I'm on my phone. Here.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
And lastly is our Shining Star Award. This award is nominated by Mrs. Michelle Carey, principal of Centerville Elementary School. And our Shining Star Award winner is Rebecca Frazier. Becky, come on up. And we've got members of the team here as well. Oh, I love the prize. That's so cute. So the Shining Star Award is presented to an individual in our school system who shines. Mrs. Carey says, Miss Becky Frazier is truly our bus queen and a shining star at Centerville Elementary School. She is the mastermind behind organizing all of our 35-plus bus runs for our little CES Cubs, an incredible task she handles with precision, patience, and care. At the start of each school year, you'll find Ms. Frazier laminating bus tags for every student to ensure their safety and help them get on the right bus to and from school each day. She knows addresses, routes, and drop-offs by heart. She does, giving our teachers and staff peace of mind that every one of our Cubs will make it home safely. We truly don't know what we would do without her dedication, commitment, and genuine care for our students. Thank you, Ms. Frazier, for all that you do. We appreciate you more than words can say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sorry.
Got it? All right now. She juggles a lot more than that. Push the button. Okay, so push the button.
Yeah. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Jen, can you move over a little bit too? There we go.
Sorry.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sit, Kendra.
character counts presentation?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Melinda Ray. I'm the Character Counts Coordinator for Queen Anne's County. Met with Dr. Kibler this summer to kind of welcome him into this position and kind of give him some updates on character counts and what we do. And realized that in the 2.5 years I've been in this role, this is my 3rd school year doing this, I have never talked to you guys. So we thought it'd be a good idea for me to kind of give you an overview of character counts, what we do in the county, because we're integrally involved in your buildings on a day-to-day basis. But first, let's hear from Wayne.
It's hard to believe it's been a quarter of a century since we started character counts here in Queen Anne's County. Actually started a little bit before that. To give you a little bit of background, in 1999, as you all may remember, there was a terrible tragedy in Columbine, Colorado, and it caused the citizens of Queen Anne's County to want to get together and talk about what things were going on here and what things might be helpful in terms of helping the students as they go through their classes and education process. We had over 200 people. We had 2 events, one in Centerville and one in Stevensville. And out of that, we had around 32 different ideas. We broke off into different groups. And the top 2 were after-school programs and some kind of character counts initiative. So the local management board at that time, we got together and found some money through the state to help us bring on a character counts coordinator. And in October, November of 2000, Queen Anne's County, by proclamation of the commissioners, became a county of character. And through our partnership with the Board of Education, the school system, we've managed to go now, as I said, a quarter of a century. The early days were the first time we approached the then superintendent, he says, no way I'm putting on anything on my teachers. They got a full plate. If you want to do something, you're going to have to do it with the community getting involved and coming into the schools. So that's what we did, and that's what we've done. And we were talking, it's been, I guess, thousands now maybe of character counts coaches that have come into the school system over those years. And I think most of you know, as they say, the rest of the story, which brings us up to Mindy and what she's been doing the last 2.5 years, and a phenomenal job. We've been very blessed over the years that our character counts coordinators have been. They do it for not only for the title, but also because it's in their heart. And we found that that also is what happens in the community. The people really feel that, especially as we've said every year, I guess, for the last 25 years, that we need to talk to our students about character and about good character. And it's a couple of years ago, we had a opportunity that some of the students that had gone through all the classes over the years actually did a proclamation about what it had meant to them to be having to have character counts coaches come into the classroom.
So what we do is I coordinate and recruit volunteers. I partner them with typically at kindergarten through 5th grade classrooms. Those volunteers, community volunteers, go in about twice a month. They spend about 20 to 30 minutes and they talk to the kids about the current pillar of character, and there are 6 of them: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. And it kind of rotates every month. So they focus their lessons around that pillar in the classroom, which is really nice. So some of our successes in this school year, we have 110 volunteers that work with us that are in the schools on a regular basis. 5 of them are for your executive board. Up here, Dr. Kibler, Dr. Schreckengast, Mr. Watkins, Mr. Pinder, and Mr. Noel are all character counts coaches this year, which I am just so psyched about. I think that is so exciting that they're in the buildings, they're with the kids, they're seeing what goes on a daily basis. I just think that's fabulous. This is the third year in a row that we've had 100% of the K through 5 classrooms in Queen Anne's County have had a character counts coach. In the past recent years, we've expanded into the middle schools. We have a presence in all 4 of the middle schools now. We are also working with Mr. Shepard at Queen Anne's County High School and Ms. Herlock. We are going to be working with their Interact Club to kind of integrate character counts in the activities that they present to their student body. And also, this will be the third year that we have worked with Ken Island High School's Honor Society, and we have 12 student coaches, members of Honor Society, that work with our younger students as well from Ken Island High School. So we are in some capacity in all 14 of the schools in this county, which is really exciting stuff. I do have some stats, which is really exciting to share. I was telling Wayne earlier, so one of the things that I did almost immediately is kind of revamp our Facebook and our social media presence, because as we all know, that's how information is disseminated in this county. So to kind of make that a priority, last month, our social media posts reached 69,400 different accounts on Facebook, which is amazing. So, and one of the reasons I really enjoy that number, that it's so high, is because this will be the third year that we've done our character count staff recognitions for Queen Anne's County Public Schools. So I send a little poster with a QR code, and I encourage the schools to kind of share that with their staff, with their students, with their families, in their newsletters. I put it on our social media pages. And I want any QACPS employee to be recognized for the awesome things they're doing, because I don't think there's enough positivity out there. So I can tell you that when we put these shout outs, and we put a few today for Queen Anne's County High School, we've recognized already this year a board member, someone who works at the Board of Ed. We've recognized someone who was at, I think Mattapique Middle had a couple of nominations, but we put their pictures online. We recognize the good that they're doing, and those are our most interacted with posts. People love to see the good things that are happening at Queen Anne's County Public Schools, which I find really exciting. But I did want to give you some of our stats. So one of the things I do at the end of every school year is I do a survey with the teachers, the students, and our coaches. And one of the main questions, the question that I look at on that survey is, are you seeing a positive impact in your classroom that you believe is attributed to our character counts lessons? Because that's kind of our end goal, is we want to make a positive impact. And last year, the teachers that responded, 95% of them said that they did. And so that's kind of a really cool statistic for us. Of the students, and we poll 3rd through 5th graders, so we're talking 8 to 11-year-olds, which is a hard audience to please if you've ever worked with 8 to 11-year-olds. And 73% of them said they saw a positive impact. So that's kind of a really big number in my head for that age group. The one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you guys here is I just wanted to make an offer. As the character counts coordinator, I am looking for new ideas all the time. So if there's something that the board is doing, there's an initiative that you guys want to partake, and you think character counts would be a good partner, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am happy to promote anything that you guys want to do if it brings good character to this community.
I want to thank the executive team too for stepping up and being coaches.
Awesome.
So we're excited
We
about that.
appreciate that too.
I was a high school and college teacher, so doing a 1st grade classroom, so I'm excited. I'm nervous. Thank you for the 1st grade placement. It's going to be great.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
And you can find a few more slots if any of the board would like to.
So right now, K through 5, we are 100% covered, but I'm always looking to keep a backup list, because sometimes these are volunteers, life happens, and if they can't finish, I always like to have a list. So if anybody is open to volunteering, I am taking names and keeping a list. And I can definitely get you in next year, I'm sure.
Are there any questions?
I'm thinking with the holidays coming up, does Character Counts do anything with like Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving prep and like?
So we don't, as an initiative, we don't, but if you guys are doing anything, or even at the school level that you want promoted, I'm happy to do that. One of the things that we have coming up that is really exciting, this Saturday, we're having our very first Family Fun Fair, which will happen at Dominic's Farm in Queenstown. It is a free event. There will be petting zoo. There'll be all the pillars are going to be represented. There's going to be free bag lunches for the first 150 people. I'll get a ticket. So that was sponsored. So it should be a really fun event. It's going to be a beautiful day according to the weather. So come out and pet some goats.
The mini horses.
Chickens and horses. Yeah, so that'll be fun. The other thing that's happening at the school levels right now, we started a couple years ago having student ambassadors because I kind of felt like we needed someone in the school that kind of promoted it at the student level. So at every school, they're allowed to choose 2 student ambassadors, and those ambassadors, they have to apply for the position. The 4th and 5th graders write an essay about what the character pillars kind of mean to them and how they represent them in their daily lives. And our 2nd graders at our younger schools do a poster. They have to get a teacher recommendation, they have to submit this, they have to have a parent permission, and then the schools select their ambassadors. And so there's 2 at every school, and those kids get to do things like do the morning announcements and remind the students of what the pillar is. They get to maintain a bulletin board. They get to march in the parades with character counts. So they get to do some really fun things. So those are kind of the 2 things that we have going on right now. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for letting me take some of your time tonight. I really appreciate sharing it with you.
Your partnership has really been appreciated, and the openness and the willingness of the whole system to embrace us has just been
Almost forgot, I
wonderful.
bought presents. So, I got magnets and pens for you guys, and I also, for your brand new building, brought you 6 pillar posters. So when you're able to hang things in your building, you can represent what the pillar is of the month. So I brought those for you as well.
Command strips, no nails. Command strips.
No nails. When you get a bulletin board would be great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, board involvement. Who would like to start?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
So I just have a couple shout outs for events coming up. So on Friday, October 3rd at Churchill Elementary, they are having their Harvest Hoedown at 5:30. And then at Sellersville Middle School on Thursday the 16th at 5:30, they are having their Hispanic Heritage Month.
Who's next?
I was able to make it to the Hero football games. Fantastic, greatly appreciated. Especially being a veteran myself, seeing everybody represented out there, the firefighters, EMS, police departments, law enforcement, and veterans out there is fantastic, and it's very much appreciated from both the schools doing what they did and seeing the big American flag by the fire department and what they did. So I know the game was a little tight one there for Queen Anne, but they pulled it out in the second half. But it was a good time, and I appreciate the welcoming, sir, and my family was there. So I'm Dr. Kibler there with his kids. So it was a good trip, and it was good to get my family out to see kind of grow in the community as well. So
Next.
I'll go. I went to both games, both high schools, to the first responders and veterans night. So thank you to both high schools. It was amazing. The bands, the student sections were great. You guys did great. And anyway, just a really great event. The dinners and everything you have for everybody. And then I was at back to school night at Ken Island, and I was lucky enough to see our teacher of the year get her car. I wasn't planning on being there, but it was so neat. Her trip, I guess, gives her a free car lease for a year. So that was really fun to watch. And also I went to the Midshore Behavioral Health Fair at Churchill Park this last weekend on Saturday, and saw the Queen Anne's County booth, the sheriff's booth, and there was a lot of information, a lot of stuff out there, fun stuff going on.
Good. Who's like one?
I did not get a chance to do anything this month.
Nope, that's all right.
Some of the nights when things are going on, somebody's sick, somebody's got to work. I couldn't get there, but I always have the next month.
There you go.
I'm here though. I'm here.
Yes.
There you go. So let's see. I did attend the state Teacher of the Year gala. That was really nice. Unfortunately, we did not win. The teacher of the Year from Frederick County did win. It's very interesting. We also attended the capstone training for superintendents and boards for all of our
Leadership training.
leadership training for the blueprint and all the other things that went on. I do have a shout out. On November the 1st at Sudlersville Middle School will be a Make a Difference Day. And they're looking for volunteers if anybody wants to go. I believe I'm signing up for that one. I have to remember about that time. But it's a good event. They do a lot of community welfare type activities. Free haircuts, just lots of services there to help out the community. It's a good thing to volunteer for. Show up and have fun. Now we will talk to Mr. Adams and Mr. Butler. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. We've had several successful career events by Americans Ricketts, including MBA driver's permits, senior career day, and USA Skills Team Builder. We received Centerville Town Council's approval for the new electronic sign in front. And Mr. Blackiston's masonry class in the CTE department will be repurposing its workers and using it for a sign in the courtyard. Next week is Homecoming Spirit. For Monday, we'll be having a Jersey Day, Tuesday, Twin Day Tuesday.
Wednesday, I love the 80s. Thursday, classic colors. Friday, green and gold. We have a couple of events. On Thursday, October 9th, is the Powder Puff game at 6 p.m. On Friday, October 10th, senior car show in the AM, bringing back an old tradition, and the pep rally in the afternoon in the gym. Saturday, October 11th, is the Students' Day. We have a parade at 10 a.m., a game at 12 p.m. against Easton High Warriors, and the homecoming dance at 6 p.m. That is all.
Thank you.
So October is definitely a exciting one, just because there's a lot going on. Starting off the 8th of October, we'll have a band and choir concert. It starts at 7 o'clock, and then October 10th is a home game, the pep rally, and the parade. And then the next day, October 11th, is homecoming. I think that's the same day as QA, right? The 11th? Okay, so the same day as QA's homecoming. And then we also have a PSAT, October 15th, that they're really big on wanting like sophomores and juniors to attend to. And then October 16th is Hispanic Heritage Day. Last year that was great. That was really fun. They had dancers, and I don't know what they have planned for this time, but last year was great. It was really fun. And then first student of the month will be held Friday, October 24th. And then the last thing on the list here is the fall play, Almost Maine. Will premiere October 30th, and then it plays the next week through the 1st of November. And that's it for CAT.
Cool. Dr. Kibler.
So I had the opportunity with Ms. Bent to go to the Teacher of the Year Gala Friday night and celebrate Miss Mamas from Kent Island High School. Really exciting for Queen Anne's County Public Schools to have a finalist this year, one of 7 finalists in the state. Fortunately, she didn't win, but we do congratulate the Teacher of the Year from Frederick County, and incredibly proud of Miss Mamas. And I was there for her card presentation as well, which was cool. On back to school night, we just beat the rain, which was nice, so we could celebrate her with that. And I walked around back to school night, got to meet with students, talking about clubs and things. It's great. I've been to a lot of sporting events so far. I haven't made it to everything. Saw some board members at the football games. It's great watching the student athletes. Makes me want to be out there at least to make one run down the field until I pull a hamstring or something. But incredibly proud of our student athletes, and it's really fun to every time I go to one, get the loyalty check from students and staff to make sure I understand which team I'm rooting for and things like that. So I can be neutral right now. So I like that. So I appreciate it. So it's been great.
All right. Mr. Dreyer.
Next, we have the citizen participation and public comment. We ask all speakers to keep in mind the following guidelines. Speakers should sign the roster, including their telephone number and address. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes in length. Comments longer than 3 minutes should be submitted in writing. Statements to the board should relate to the matter of general policy over which the board has authority. Comments about the actions or statements of individual staff members are not appropriate for public comments and should be referred to the superintendent of schools or board president. If you have specific questions, the board will make sure an appropriate staff member responds to your question. The board respects your desire and right to convey your message freely, but asks as a courtesy to this board and our citizens to show respect for all. Our first up is Miss Amanda D'Onofrio.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see you all. Great haircut. I love it. That looks so good on you. I can't do that myself. I've seen it in magazines. I'm like, oh, that looks fantastic.
Caught me on shower day.
You're really carrying it off. Okay, so I wanted to come and speak tonight, and I had mentioned something because I've been reading about school districts who are struggling with budgetary issues and other things like that and creative solutions, and one of the things that I did see was solar installation. So since the last time I was here, I reached out to the Maryland Energy Administration to see if they have something like that for Maryland, and they do, and it's open for application. So I just wrote a little bit here, but according to Education Weekly, approximately 12% of Americans K through 12 students attend school in a building that has solar panels. Generation 180 found that as of 2023, nearly 9,000 public and private schools have solar panels. And I think it's time that we move towards doing that for more efficient energy management, especially considering budgetary issues we've had in the past. And we should look to move forward in cost-saving measures where we can and opportunities to increase operational efficiency, cut costs, and potentially build revenue so that we can find new ways to support our teachers and our students' health and well-being in the schools. The Maryland Energy Administration, in partnership with the Interagency Commission on School Constructions, for the Decarbonizing Public Schools Grant Program, which is solely focused on K through 12 schools. It helps districts develop and expand their capacity to address challenges and provides opportunities for controlling costs through solar installations, energy data management, net zero energy design considerations for public school portfolio planning. And this, I think, is vital given some of the energy systems in the schools my children go to. I know we were talking about some of the systems at CES, and when I went to KES, I did mention that there are some issues there as well with the ceiling tiles having stains and things like that. And some of that can be from the systems leaking, some of it weather issues. But for this program, applicants may apply for this for either their entire district, a multi-facility subset, or individual schools. And for the fiscal year 2026, awards are currently open for application, and the deadline for that application is November 21st, 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is something that we can apply for. It is a grant, and a breakdown of grant opportunities include focused on energy management, gathering and analyzing energy data, and net zero portfolio planning, funds for electrification and energy efficiency projects, support solar installations, and it covers incremental costs for design and construction of new net zero energy schools. And I think it is something that the board should consider. I think it is something that they should apply for. I think it's been very beneficial.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next up is Mr. Richard McNeil.
My report's not that exciting. Richard McNeil, representing the retirement group and myself. Welcome to your new home. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I understand there's going to be a kind of an open house, so we have a lot of former employees who are very interested in seeing how this all comes together. So excited on that. want to just recognize, the state recognized our group with 2 recognitions for recruitment and using social media to inform our retirees as to what's going on. And you would think in this day and age in the state of Maryland that everybody would be doing what we're doing, but apparently not. And so we were appreciative of that. That was kind of a nice surprise in July that we do keep our employees as retirees as best we can on all of that. And even though they might be living in California or Florida, whatever, our newsletter goes out to that. So we're doing on that. The other thing I'd like to just mention, again, rumors without answers can be really troubling. And with all the that's going on the national level, as far as healthcare costs and Medicare costs and cuts and everything else, I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen in the next months and years and so forth. A lot of our retirees are really much concerned and raising questions about what's going to happen to our health benefits. And I'm sure that you might not even know what the costs are going to be coming up. Prescription costs are apparently going up by some tariffs that just came in active as of today. Again, a lot of rumors and a lot of speculation of what's happening. All we're asking is from the board, if there's going to be a change, if we could be a part of that discussion, not that we have any input, but at least we can let our members know rather than a letter coming out in the mail. We would appreciate that very much. And again, I'm not assuming that there is going to be a change, but probably there might be an impact. And if there is, we would appreciate knowing that ahead of time. Again, not that we would have discussion, but input so we can let our members know. I think that would be very helpful, and we do appreciate that. And it's been great to see people at the football stadiums and the soccer fields and so forth. So the more you're out there, the more the community knows what's going on. And I could like to see you run the 100-yard dash. We'll see.
We all would.
Anytime.
Okay. Well, and my last thing, just to let you know, we do have our first meeting the 16th, the 15th at the church. And if you're capable, we'd like to have you stop by and so forth. We're decorating pumpkins for the nursing homes and some of our members who can't make it out. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Mr. Chris Blanton. I saw that.
All right, Chris Blanton, Lace Churchill. First, I'd like to congratulate you on your new building. It smells new, unlike the schools that smell of mold. Also, congratulations on the furniture that was purchased by the last superintendent's brother. I'd like to take the time to make comments on the last meeting and the denial of the application of the charter school. Ms. Bent stated that charter schools are only necessary when there's demonstration of need and when existing schools fail to meet community needs. When the charter school representative emphasized the importance of community-wide support, Ms. Bent responded in a condescending tone saying, "That's beautiful, that's really beautiful. But right now, this board is responsible for the 7,500 students in the school system." I believe Ms. Bent should consider this statement. As elected representatives of the Queen Anne's County Board of Education, you're accountable and responsible to all voters in Queen Anne's County, approximately 30,000 registered voters and 53,000 plus residents. Your responsibility extends beyond current students to the entire community you serve. I would have thought, being the board president, this would be thoroughly understood. Ms. Sutherland, you mentioned that we should move away from discussing the need, yet you continue to focus on that very topic. You also expressed that you took it personally when someone suggests our school system is inadequate, and that you're working to turn our school system with the new administration, turn it around. You acknowledge that it's difficult to hear such criticism. Additionally, you mentioned that Hope and teachers appear to be in more positive spirits. You stated that you feel this discussion doesn't support Queen Anne's County public schools, you also disclosed that you previously had your own children enrolled in private schools and then brought them back to public schools. My concerns are this: you take it personally that someone is attempting to come in and give the taxpayers, voters, and parents of Queen Anne's County options while reducing the burdens on Queen Anne's County public schools. Is the boards and administrations worry that they may do it better or that they may have a lot more enrollment? This is exactly what we, the voters, taxpayers, and parents want. I understand that you say that you guys are working to turn the school system around. However, that phrase is consistently used from administration and school board to administration and school board. Every single administration and Board of Ed continue the same line of blame and nothing changes. It's time to stop just placing blame and actually make changes. You stating that you hope the teachers are in more positive spirits makes me know that you don't have a full grasp on staff morale. You also had the ability and the finances to give your children the opportunity to attend a private school. Many voters and taxpayers that you are supposed to represent do not have that luxury, and a choice for them would be refreshing and uplifting. Ms. Eichler, you mentioned limited interest from parents in receiving 50 letters or so. However, how many community members are even aware this option exists? Has the BOE conducted surveys to gauge actual community interest? Your reference to a 700-member Facebook group represents only 1.3% of Queen Anne's County's population, hardly a representative sample for major educational decisions. Regarding your conduct during the vote, it was concerning that you appeared distracted by your phone during this important decision, required prompting to vote, and engaged in side conversation which may violate open meeting requirements. I guess I'll just come back later.
Thank you. Oh, he left.
Yeah, well, that was over.
Okay.
He just signed it.
Oh, he forgot. So we're done. Is there anyone else that wanted to provide open comment?
I just wanted to say I have the contact information.
You need to come up forward.
I just want to say my information is on the roster that I sign in, and usually I've never really heard it back about anybody after speaking on one of these, but I do have contact information for the MEA for that grant program, and it would be a refreshing change of pace if somebody could contact me back, and if we're interested in looking into this. I do have those contact details from the people that I spoke to at the administration about the grant.
Thank you. All right. As we met in closed session to discuss the HR report, can I get a motion for approval?
I motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the October 1st, 2025 Human Resources Report as presented.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We also heard about the non-public tuition. Can I get a motion for those?
Yep. Do you want me to just read each one individually or vote on them at the end? Well, we have to read the whole thing because we have to read the number because it's budget related.
So,
Yeah, I was just saying, we discussed it because of names and stuff in closed session.
Correct. But
I got you.
I keep forgetting that.
Trying to be more
Right.
transparent.
No, but
Yeah.
it's a thing. So, to Mr. Dre's point, during closed session, we discussed the 3 non-public tuition payments. It is done in closed session because of the nature of the type of schooling and what it is for. And during open session is when we will vote on the approval for funding for those 3 institutions. With that, move forward. So you're fine.
I'll do all 3 of them and then we can, or do you want it individual?
Since they each have their own individual budget line, you can do them.
So 7.02, make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the non-public tuition for the Harbor School. Fiscal impact is $53,044.00. The budget source is FY26 restricted and unrestricted operating budget.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye.
7.03, make a motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the non-public tuition for the Benedictine School. Fiscal impact is $568,494.70. The budget source is FY26 restricted and unrestricted operating budget.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7.04, motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the non-public tuition for St. Elizabeth School. Fiscal impact $143,272.47. Budget source FY26, restricted and unrestricted operating budget.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Budget transfer, Mr. Watkins.
Jumped the gun a little bit. Good evening, everybody. President Bent, Dr. Kibler, board members. For the record, my name is Rob Watkins, Interim Chief Financial Officer. And tonight I am bringing before you a budget transfer for fiscal year 26. Budgets come in a handful of varieties. They come in changes to revenue streams. They come to be, via transfers between major categories, and they come in transfers in the categories. So transfers between major categories and transfers inside of categories. Tonight I have all three for you. We use budget transfer as a tool to help us support and analyze the budget. We're continually moving stuff around to remain in compliance with Maryland's blueprint for education and with Maryland compliance with finance law. We are continually working on making sure that basically the things are being charged to the right location. For this presentation, I am referencing the letter to the County Commissioners dated October 1st and a summary transfer sheet on the screen behind you, both of which also are available on board docs. To go through the transfer request. There are three changes in our revenue streams, and they came via the notification of grant agreements. So between the beginning of the fiscal year and now, we've seen three different funding sources change. We've seen a reduction in pre-K funding to a tune of $48,583. Good news is we knew about this early on. We treat it as an expenditure in our budget, so this is not really a loss of revenue. It's just an adjustment from revenue and a removal of an expenditure. So we caught this one early on. We also saw a reduction in our non-public placement by $14,606, and we saw an overall increase in the NOGA for college and career readiness to $29,901. It's an overall decrease in revenue to $33,288. I'm requesting a transfer of $109,901 to Category 1 Administration. Advanced placement testing, according to the Maryland Finance Guidelines, should be charged at a Category 1. We have traditionally put it in Category 5, so we're requesting $80,000 to be transferred from Category 5 to Category 1 to pay for the testing in the right location in our budget. Additionally, we also moved that increase in college and career readiness funds to Category 1 to support AP testing. We're requesting a transfer of $87,812 from Category 2 Mid-Level Administration to Category 8 Health Services. This brings a nursing position that the previous superintendent had cut out of the budget, and to support a contract through a partnership with the Queen Anne's County Health Department. We're requesting a transfer of $3,660.95 from Category 4 to Category 5 to support a project in our career and technology education program. It was placed in the wrong part of the budget. And we're requesting a transfer of $52,500 from Category 6 special education to Category 5 other instructional charges for a contracted substitute psychologists. Psychologists are charged to Category 3. The associated contracted services category is Category 5, so we should be charging this to Category 5, not Category 6. So we move the funds to support that. Generally, budget transfers do not adjust the bottom line. This one did, however. We saw an overall decrease of $33,288 due to those changes in the blueprint NOGAs. The overall budget will sit at $127,473,928. I also have three transfers inside of categories. So this will be me moving money inside the categories to support the needs of the program. In this particular case, in Category 1, I'd like to move $5,600 from contracted services to other charges, which is where we pay for our HR applicant tracking software. So it needs to be in the right location. And in Category 4, we're requesting to move $13,750 from our career coach line and materials of instruction to the career coach line and contract services. This is where we charge our junior achievement field trips for middle schools too. It just needs to be in the right location. This is an action item, so we are seeking approval for Dr. Kibler to send a letter to the Commissioner's office and approval for these transfers.
Questions?
I would just add that's a lot.
It is.
And what we're doing here is trying to make sure that, like we've been talking about as I've been in the seat, making sure that the money we're spending is being spent in the right places. So not only are we making sure that we move the money in the budget right now, but the next piece of this will be when we build the 27 budget, that we go ahead and, like the AP test example, take it out of where we originally budgeted in category 5 it was, and go ahead and put it in category 1, so we don't have to come back to you for this transfer right now. So, I mean, that's what this is. It's cleaning up and making sure, and it's kind of our own system, but also making sure we're in line with the reporting requirements for the blueprint, as Mr. Watkins said.
Taking some fresh looks at the budgets and trying to analyze that pretty regularly, there's going to be some opportunities for us to put things in the places they belong. That's really what this is.
Any board members have any other questions?
No. I make a motion that the Queen Anne's County Board of Education approve the transfer request within the unrestricted FY26 budget. This is amendment number 1 for FY26.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next? Comprehensive maintenance approval. Long time no see.
Pardon?
I said hello.
Hi. Good evening, President Bent, Vice President Capes, board members, executive team, Superintendent Kibler. For the record, my name is Darryl Barraclough. I'm the Supervisor of Facilities and Design. This evening, I come before you with seeking approval for the comprehensive maintenance plan. So the comprehensive maintenance plan is basically our, it is a required document that we provide to the state as a stakeholder for our buildings. It provides the LEA, which is Queen Anne's County Public Schools' intentions for the coming fiscal year and its facilities maintenance program. You'll see some information in here this evening that does drive the capital improvement plan. But one of the key things that I want to point out tonight is one of the biggest things that I've found over the last 2 years developing the comprehensive maintenance plan, as well as some of the other documents like the educational facilities master plan, is that you're going to see a push for increases in the operations side of things, and I'll bring those points out through the presentation. So as I mentioned, the comprehensive maintenance plan is a requirement of the state to be submitted through Title 14, Subtitle 39. So the law basically reads that annually each LEA shall submit to the IAC, the Interagency Commission, the comprehensive maintenance plan that is compatible with the local educational facilities master plan and the local capital improvement program. So with the relationship between the CIP and the operating budget, one of the key things that I did want to point out regarding the operational budget, and you'll see that within the actual document that is the CMP, is on page 3 of 18. The IAC produces standards that they feel are the required number of maintenance personnel that should be maintaining a fixed number of square feet. Right now, we have the APPA staffing ratio, which is what the state uses is one full-time equivalent for 67,456 square feet. Their recommended staffing is 21 full-time equivalent maintenance personnel to handle what we have for square footage. Right now, we have 11 full-time maintenance people, so we're operating at about 50% what we should have. That is going to be a big, it does create problems for us. You'll see some of the problems in our MEA, maintenance of effort, inspections that are produced by the state. We do get dinged on quite a few things that the state comes out and finds. You'll also see it in some of the durations that it takes maintenance to get to work orders. They're just short-staffed. We're also short-staffed on the operations side as well. You'll also see from a capital improvement program, there are several attachments and appendixes to the document on things like asphalt milling and paving, interior painting, exterior painting, playgrounds, and furniture replacement. When we present the local side of the CIP to the board later on this year, probably about the December-January timeframe that coincides with the local CIP side of it, you'll see a lot of those projects in our FY27 CIP request. Later on this evening, I'll be doing the CIP request for the state projects, and that's what I'll be presenting to the board in my next presentation. What you'll see, this is what I was referring to earlier. These are the attachments that are all part of the comprehensive maintenance plan. So what we've tried to do is create a plan moving forward to address just the normal preventative maintenance and the maintenance and upkeep on our facilities, whether it's exterior painting or it's playgrounds and play surfaces or asphalt milling and paving. You will notice in there that with the budget shortage that we did receive in the CIP from FY26, some projects had to be deferred. For example, the asphalt milling and paving that was scheduled for FY26, you'll see that as being deferred. You'll see that for the exterior painting. You'll see that for the furniture replacement as well. So, there are some impacts that do affect our comprehensive maintenance plan that trickle up and down to the CIP. So with that, I know there's a lot of information in the CIP. A lot of information is what the state is looking for to be provided in their very comprehensive package that they look to get from us. It's around 485 pages worth of documentation, most of which are the work orders that are generated through our computerized maintenance software. So with that, I'll take questions on the comprehensive maintenance plan.
Maybe just because I'm trying to follow with the furniture replacement. I know that we got chairs and desks and stuff for the high school, and for Bayside Elementary, the furniture replacement, is it deemed separate when it's done in pieces? When you say furniture replacement?
Well, we have within the comprehensive maintenance plan, we do have an attachment 5 that goes through and dictates where we've been with furniture replacement, what's transpired in the past, and what's projected in the future. The key point to point out with the furniture replacement is right now, we did approximately 2 years ago, we did an estimate on what's needed to make us whole, and we guesstimated right around $2 million. So the county agreed to fund that over a 3-year period. So we're getting right around $650,000 a year of local money. They funded that in FY25. It did not make the cut in FY26, so we're requesting that in 25, and then we'll request it again in 28 to again make us whole with the breakdown of 3 different draws.
You mentioned that you didn't get as much funding from the state this year, so you had to defer one of the asphalt millings.
That was local. Local, we did not receive. Our ask was about a little over $12 million, and we got about $8 million. So between deferring one of our state projects that we did not receive funding on, we basically went through our priority list, and the projects that were the lower priority were the projects that we had to defer to FY27. And you'll see that in you'll see that in part of the next presentation with local projects, but you'll see more of that in the local CIP that comes later this year.
So what is your projection on what we would need to become whole in the future, like going into FY27? Are we gonna have to make up that $4 to $6 million? Or are we just gonna kind of take some of these because they are lower priority and they can just keep getting kicked out?
Are you talking about from a CIP standpoint? Correct. Well, we're still developing the local side of the CIP because we typically meet with building administrators and find out what their needs are, and then that goes into the local CIP. Right now, when we get to the presentation next, when I talk about the state CIP, the state is looking for a presentation to them by October 5th because they work on a different fiscal approval schedule than what the local funding does. So we're concentrating on the local or the state projects with where we are right now in October because we have to meet their timeline in order to get funding. We're still putting together the local ask, but right now, the safety and security projects for FY27 are going to be at the top of that local list, and then we're going to do the deferred projects from 26. They'll be at the top, or they'll be directly below that, and then we would go into the FY27 projects. I did communicate to the county previously last year, when we couldn't afford to do $4 million worth of local projects last year, those projects don't evaporate. They just basically get extended to the following year. So they're aware that it's going to be a bigger ask this year. How it shakes out, we'll find out in a few months.
Thank you.
Sure.
Have we always had the shortage in maintenance personnel, or is that like new? I mean, having 10 instead of 21?
We've had the shortage for as long as I've been here. Mr. Pender can talk to how long it's been since before I've been here, but we've always requested additional maintenance personnel, but it always seems to get cut.
So we have 10 people for 14 schools?
Well, we are 10 people across the entire county.
Okay. Wow.
It was 9 up until about 2 years ago. We got approved, 2 or 3 years ago, we got approved to hire one extra.
So they also have to drive to different schools and everything else. Does the program track all that, like the schools and yeah? Is there any way we could use CTE students for the easier things, or do we already? Just wondering, like
that's part of their training.
Yeah.
You gotta be supervised though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
To the school, and then also, when schools are in session, you're limited to different activities that can occur within the school. So it is something that we've battled for many, many years. We've tried to add one, kind of every budget, but there's also other needs throughout the school system. So I mean, it is something that needs to be looked at in the future. And one of those does include the working, who's a Jim O'Donnell, who's a foreman, who's a working foreman, which, makes it a little bit more difficult also.
And to kind of dovetail into Mr. Pender's comments and your question, the needs 10 to 15 years ago from just an electrician standpoint were a lot different than the needs today. Electricians 10 and 15 years ago weren't dealing with things like access control and surveillance cameras and, the higher end on the mechanical side, the digital controls that are in systems now. Got much more robust fire alarm systems where each strobe and each pull station are individually addressable units. So you're in computer program where you're basically touching each one of those devices. So things have just grown much more sophisticated, and with obviously sophistication, it drives the need for more people.
And do we do most of it in-house and not hire contractors?
We do a lot of it in-house, yeah. We do have a fire alarm technician, and we do have electricians that handle surveillance cameras. We do contract new installations for, obviously, new installations for fire alarms, that is contracted out. Surveillance cameras, that is contracted out from a new installation standpoint. But just the periodic maintenance of a camera being down, or a camera needing to be re-aimed or something like that, we try to do that in-house. Yeah.
Thanks.
Motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the comprehensive maintenance plan as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. And state capital improvement?
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. Again, for the record, Darryl Barricklow, Supervisor of Facilities and Design, coming before you this evening for the Capital Improvement Plan. This is for state projects only for fiscal years 27 through 32. So similarly to the Comprehensive Maintenance Plan, Maryland law, COMAR, does require a capital improvement plan to be assembled by the LEA, approved by the board, and submitted to the IAC each fiscal year. CIP projects are generally broken down into two levels. We have major capital projects. These are projects that the state will usually participate in. They are typically $200,000 or greater in construction. They are new or replacement schools, renovations, additions, and systemic renovations. Costs are typically shared between the state and the county, and some grant funds may be secured. The second type of projects are minor capital projects. These are projects that the state typically does not participate in. These are going to be things like interior adjustments, vestibule reconfigurations, painting, playgrounds, technology upgrades, site improvements, paving, other projects that are similar in nature. Cost vary greatly, and they are 100% locally funded, and sometimes grants are sought to help offset those costs. As I mentioned previously, tonight's presentation is going to focus solely on the state projects in order to meet the state deadline for submitting an approved, board-approved CIP to them by October 5th. So as I mentioned, state projects are a shared cost formula. You'll see a snippet here from the state website. Queen Anne's County Public Schools currently, as it has been for the last 4 years, is still or actually 3 years, I'm sorry, is still tracking at a 50-50 state local share. So the state is contributing 50% of the construction costs and design costs, and the local is funding the other 50% of the design costs as well as 50% of the construction cost. You will see some variations in the cost when it's broken down of what the state share is. The local share will be slightly higher because the state does not contribute towards the contingency. So if we estimate a project at $5 million, the state will give us $2.5 million. Local will have to provide the $2.5 million plus whatever we estimate as what might come up as change orders or unforeseen conditions through construction. So the local share will be 2.75 or something greater than 2.5. So
before we move off this page?
Sure.
The numbers for the other counties, does that mean that's what the state is providing them?
Correct. So, for example, Caroline County, for FY '97, they're getting 97% state funds, and they're contributing 3% local funds for their construction projects. 50% is the minimum that the state provides. So we are at the minimum. And we've been at the minimum for a while. Prior to that, you'll see in FY 19, 20, up through 24, we were at 51%, but before that, for a couple of years, we were at 50%, and then below that, we were at 55%. There's several things that go into the state's calculation for that, and I've listed them there. A lot of it has to do with foundation program, the free and reduced meals program, medium income, unemployment rate, enrollment growth, outstanding debt, and those sort of things. So it's basically judging the county's wealth and so on. So moving into the 6 projects that we are going to be moving to the state seeking funding on, we have our Priority 1 project, which is the Kennard Elementary School HVAC systemic renovation. This project was originally on the FY 26 state funding, and the state did approve it last year. Unfortunately, once we retained the services of a design engineer to come and take a look at the project, we were severely under budget with what was projected. The mechanical costs have skyrocketed over the last few years. We budgeted around $4 million, and the project is closer to around $7.8 million. So we basically are going back to the state, and we've canceled the FY 26 project, and we're going to request it with a new request for 27 as our Priority 1 project, and we're requesting additional the funding that we need to fully fund the project. From a local standpoint, you'll see in the breakdown, we have taken the local funds from FY 26. We're going to ask for supplemental funding in 27 to give us our local match for that project. So the next priority would be the Kennard Elementary School complete roof project. So that project would coincide with the mechanical replacement project. And if you're looking at the school, the lighter roof area there that's in the overhead Google Earth shot, that is the gymnasium. It would not include the gymnasium, and it would also not include the wing that projects upward from the back of the school. That was a classroom addition and a media center addition that was done within about the last 14, 15 years. So the state would not contribute to roof replacement costs for that. So it would basically be the major spline of the school, as well as the, I'm sorry, I did say gymnasium. That was the cafeteria that was done previously. The gym is closer to the front. That would be part of the roof replacement. So next on our request is the Centerville Elementary School HVAC systemic replacement. This we are seeking as a design funding from the state. This project was originally in our CIP much later out. So with the recent issues that we encountered with Centerville Elementary School, we are pulling it forward in the CIP and seeking design funding for that. We did have an engineer go out onto the project site. He assisted with what could be done from a short-term standpoint, but he also looked at the project from a systemic renovation project, gave us some heads up on what some replacement costs might be, as well as design costs. So that's what we're going to be looking for our third priority state project. Centerville Middle School renovation replacement design. This project had received previous state funding approval. And since the deadline for encumbering those funds was not met by the state, we need to reapply for that. I don't foresee any pushback from the state on that since they had previously approved that. As an update on the Centerville Middle School project, the educational specifications that were approved by the board a few months ago, they're currently at the state level in review. The feasibility study is underway. We hope to have that presentation to the board within the next month or so. A couple of things here to point out. So from that project standpoint, one of the things that I have been in communication with the state people about is that project, we are going to be seeking a net zero design. So if anybody is familiar with net zero, it's basically we will have photovoltaic panels on that site or on that building equal to or greater than enough to produce enough electricity through those panels to service that building for a year. So obviously the sun peaks, ebbs and flows through different parts of the season, so you're going to get more sun on the summer months than you might during the more rainier months and cloudy months. But from an overall standpoint throughout the year, it will be a net zero school. That is going to be one of our design objectives when we seek architects and engineers for that project. A couple of things that will do for us. It will give us 5 additional % of state funding. So our funding level would go from 50%, it would go from 50% to 55% state funding. So if we can document, illustrate through our design that it is a net zero school, we will get an additional 5% of funding. That's not design funding, that's both design and construction. So it's a pretty healthy chunk of change. I've been tracking net zero, the evolution of it over the last few years. As an architect, I was involved with Wild Lake Middle School in Howard County, which was the first net zero school, the first LEED Platinum public school in Maryland, and it was a net zero school. So I'm familiar with the design practices. I'm familiar with what's going to be required from the state to move forward with that. So we are going to be looking for that to go net zero. And along with that, we are going to be seeking the various MEA grants that were mentioned earlier in public comment.
Sorry, I was going to ask you, so I know we've talked about this several times, so we're still waiting for the feasibility study to be done, and that way we'll know whether it's renovate or we can replace. But then I know last time we talked about it, I believe you said we still weren't at the threshold where the replacement, the state would fund that. Is that still correct?
Where we are right now with the ed specs, and the ed specs are illustrating this, the enrollment at the school will be 5th grade through 8th grade. That enrollment right now, the current enrollment that we have for the current year, as well as our projections, will support a renovation at the state level. So right now we're in good shape. So I'm fingers crossed that we don't have an enrollment drop in the next year that would start to raise flags for the state. We're in good shape.
It'd be a problem if we went back to 6th to 8th grade.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to go 6th to 8th grade. We have to do 5.
With the 5th grade,
Yes.
Okay.
5th grade from Kennard does have to come over.
Which is a twofold.
It
gets us to school, but it also creates the space at Centerville Elementary School to continue expanding pre-K.
Correct. Okay, moving on, the fifth project is Mattapique Middle School, which is a partially sloped roof replacement. Similar, if anybody has been down to Mattapique Elementary School, it's basically the tear off of the asphalt shingles that have been a constant problem due to several factors with the elevation, the proximity to the bay, proximity to salt water, those sorts of things. And the age of the roof. We have been seeing roof leak issues there. This would be a complete tear-off of the asphalt shingles, and it would go back with a standing seam metal roof that would give us much more longevity in that roof, and it would also tie the two schools together. We would do with the same sea green, light green color to help tie that in and produce more of a campus feel. And then last on the list is the Centerville Elementary School fire alarm replacement project. You may recall in prior CIP presentations, we try to do 1 or 2 fire alarms a year. Again, trying to get our fire alarms all up to the same manufacturer and the same level of quality, along with the same vendor, same maintenance programs, all these different things, as well as the same reporting. It's very important from those different things in the event of an emergency, as we had just last month with Queen Anne's County High School. So, any questions about any of the projects? Okay. Then moving on, just a very quick snippet here of FY 28 through 32. Some of the projects that are on the horizon for that. In FY 28, we would be seeking construction approval for the Centerville Middle School construction. That would be the first year of construction funding. Then we would be seeking Centerville Elementary School HVAC. That would be the construction portion of that HVAC renovation. Then we have Centerville Elementary School roof replacement. Moving on to 29, not going to read some of the smaller projects here, but again, Centerville Middle School second year, we're looking at a career CTE education spec feasibility study, again, to determine whether how we could manage a CTE program, whether it would be in addition to an existing school or whether it would be a new standalone facility. Graysonville Elementary School HVAC design, and 2 fire alarm projects there. Moving on to 30, FY 30, we're looking at the Career and Technology Education AE services, Graysonville Elementary School HVAC systemic, Churchill Elementary School HVAC systemic design costs, and Sudlersville Elementary School HVAC design costs. 31, CTE funding, Churchill HVAC funding, Sudlersville Elementary School funding. Both of those are for the HVAC systemics that were designed the prior year. And then Bayside Elementary School would be a boiler and circulating pump replacement. And then that brings us to 32, which would be the Career and Technology Center final year of construction cost, and FF&E, which is fixed furnishings and equipment. Any questions on the outlying years of the CIP?
What's 2032, the CTE, what is all that? Just what does that entail? Just all new?
That would be the second year of construction funding, and then the FF&E would take care of things like the office furniture. It's basically all the loose furnishings that's not part of construction. So if there's any equipment that needs to go into the building, which obviously there's a lot of equipment on a CTE, we're talking about the automobile lifts or the tire balancing machines, any of that type of equipment, and we're looking at it at a cost of roughly $3 million. So that would be 1.5 from the state and 1.5 from the local.
Okay, and have we established where it's going to be? I know there was some talk.
No, that would be all part of the feasibility study that we've got taking place back in FY 29.
Okay.
So 29. We're projecting the ed specs, which would develop the program, and then the feasibility study basically then starts to look at the 2 schools. It would also look at what sites we have available, whether it's land for a building or whether it is any existing facilities that could be renovated or added onto.
And the previous Board of Ed is included in that list?
It will be.
Being
It will be. if it is still available.
Not just the building, but the site.
The site.
In general.
Pardon?
Just the site in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell what all is going to be available in 29. We're 2 years out. I mean, we were originally talking about even the old 202 Chesterfield property potentially as some of the, and that will come up in the feasibility presentation for Centerville Middle School when I present that to you guys in a month or so.
And in transparency, we bumped this CTE a year from last year.
Correct.
And I think it's a big price tag. We know that the state of our current buildings too, and this is going to take some further discussion with our county commissioners just to see what they're thinking on this too. I wasn't comfortable taking this out. It's important to the community. I would love to have it, but we need to be realistic and make sure that we as a board and me as a new superintendent, that we're all on the same page and make sure it's appropriate to have it here. Because we have a lot of projects to get taken care of.
Correct.
And I think we all agree with the importance of that project, but we need to make sure we have support, not only from the state, but locally too.
Yeah, and the biggest thing there is going to be creating a balanced CIP, not only from the local, what the local county commissioners can fund, but also at the state level. The state level, neither one of those funding sources wants to see a CIP that has, a typical ask of 8 or 15 or whatever $1 million a year, and then a jump to $30 million. It's going to be tough to get those pushed through, whether it's at the state or at the local ask. So with that, any other questions?
Read a motion.
Motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to approve the CIP as presented.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow.
No break.
No break? We'll keep going? Keep going. State of data review presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, President Bent, Dr. Kibler, members of the board and executive team. For the record, my name is Jennifer Schreckengast. I'm the interim assistant superintendent. I'm here on behalf of our colleague, Mr. John Groh, the supervisor of accountability, who is under the weather this evening, but I'm happy to be able to share this presentation on the state of the data. We will begin with our results for, well, let's back it up. The purpose here is to review the MCAP data that we have results for 24-25, as well as high school assessments, including NISA, the science assessment, and government. We'll begin, here we are, with the LA results. So from this slide, you can see a comparison across the state. The numbers that we see are the percentage of students in grades 3 through 8 and 10 who scored proficient. And you'll see we were 9th in the state. We were also 2nd on the shore in our ELA scores with a 57% proficient rate. You'll see trends here from the 22-23 school year through last year, 24-25. Something interesting to follow would be the cohorts of students. So for example, in 24-25, our 10th graders, we had 73.1% of our 10th graders scoring proficient. That same group was in 8th grade in 22-23, where they were 68.4% proficient. So we do see a really nice increase with that group of children. Now, this is something that Mr. Groh really likes to examine, and that is this concept of the cusp or the bubble. So those students who are within 10 points of scoring proficient. And you'll see here, the blue are the students who were proficient. When we consider adding in the students who are within 10 points of proficiency, you'll see the red columns, and quite a larger group of students would be proficient if those students had earned just another 10 points.
So in summary, for our English language arts, we ranked 9th in the state, 2nd on the shore. Our overall results are down about 1.5%. Our ELA 10 had the greatest increase at 16.1%. ELA 3 to 5 had our greatest decline at 5.6%, while ELA 6 to 8 decreased at just 0.5%. By including our CUSP student scores, that increases our overall grade level proficiency percentage by 18.7%. So now we'll move on to math. Again, a comparable chart here showing comparisons across the state. In math, we ranked 8th with 31.6% proficient. Again, 2nd on the shore. Our trends here are a little harder to follow, a little less intuitive because the assessment has changed over time. So we're really kind of comparing year to year, but the test is different, so it's not a direct correlation as we would see with ELA. And when we look at CUSP again, vast difference when we examine the children who are very, very close to proficient, which really highlights to us the significance of targeting strategies to help those children who are so close make that bump up. And in summary, we ranked 8th in the state, 2nd on the shore. Our overall results increased 2.9% for all students. Math 7 had the greatest increase at 3.7. Algebra, the greatest decrease at 3.5. Math from grades 3 to 5 decreased from last year by 2.3, but 6 to 8 middle school increased at 2.7. If we included those CUSP student scores, that would increase our overall percentage proficient by 21%. And now we'll move on to science. So the MISA science assessment is given in 5th grade and again in 8th grade. Our 5th graders this past year ranked 10th in the state. Our 8th graders ranked 3rd in the state. And you'll see here some trends with Queen Anne's County being the first column compared to Maryland in the 2nd for 5th grade, and then 8th and Maryland comparatively. Our summary here, we ranked 10th in the state, 2nd on the shore in 5th grade. We ranked 3rd in the state, 2nd on the shore in 8th grade. 5th grade proficiency increased by 1.3, while grade 8 proficiency dropped by 0.7, though Queen Anne's County Public Schools performed higher than the state by 3.7% in 5th grade and 12.9% in 8th grade. When we look then at the biology assessment in high school, you'll see here comparison between Queen Anne's County, the light blue, and Maryland, the dark blue, over time. There's positive trends there. Our breakdown here is that our proficiency level in biology increased by 3% from last school year. We are performing 6% higher than the state. Our average scores in the district also increased by another point to 750, which is 2 points higher than the state average. The MISA MCAP is calculated at 20% of the student's grade. The average test score in 2025 was 80.9. So this is the 2nd year where this test counted in a student's overall final grade. And we are seeing positive trends in the percentage of students passing the class as well as their average test scores.
I think that, I just was going to say, I think that's an interesting point. You talk about MCAP in general and how the stakes aren't there for the students necessarily, or at least not in the same way. So the 2nd year seeing this, that it actually, the test does count as a part of their grade, I think that's worth noting, and the motivation for students to do well.
Perform better.
Thank you, Dr. Kibler. And we'll see some similar things when we get to the government assessment in high school. So for social studies, we'll begin with the 8th grade assessment. 8th grade is the only middle school or elementary school grade that takes the social studies assessment. Queen Anne's County, we ranked 8th in the state, and again, 2nd on the shore. Our trends here, you'll see Queen Anne's again on the left, state on the right. And in summary, 8th in the state, 2nd on the shore. Proficiency decreased by 6% last year, though we do continue to perform higher than the state by 3.7%. And then when we look at government MCAP trends, see again a steady increase in the overall percentage of students scoring proficient. Our proficiency level in government increased by 9% from last school year. We're 16% higher than the state. The average scores went up by 8 points to 453, which is 14 points higher than the state average. The government MCAP is calculated at 20% of the student's grade, and the average test score this past year was 83.7. This is the first year that the government assessment counted toward the grade, but
again, very positive results there. And then we'll take just one slide for our advanced placement. Two things to note here is that the percentage of students scoring a 3 or higher on AP exams increased by 4 percentage points, and also the number of AP exams taken increased by 120 exams. So more students are taking the test and more students are scoring higher on them. So with that, any questions?
Are we still requiring payment before they take the AP class to encourage them to take the exam? Because at one point you had to pay for the class or pay for the exam before the class because we had so many people that were taking it but not taking the exam.
No, it's still a choice, and with the new CCR standard, with the blueprint, if they are a CCR student, they don't have to pay if they'd like to take the test.
Okay.
So we do wait until the end to make sure that everybody's in agreement that they want to do that.
Cool.
So it's the AP tests are similar to the dual enrollment course where we would pay for that for CCR students.
Okay.
But AP tests are only done once a year, right?
Correct.
At the end
So
of
so it is hard. If somebody has an AP course the first semester, they then.
You're absolutely right.
So, okay.
It
Is there any way to take it or like administer the test mid-year, or is that the?
There are all kinds of problems. College Board does not like to play nice on those sort of things. They have their one time a year. We even tried, I believe it was either last school year or the school year before, I'm sorry, I don't remember, but we had to be closed in Maryland for primary election day, and it was during AP exam week, and they didn't want to move their AP exam day, even when the whole state was shut down, so.
It might be interesting to see, like, which
It does.
classes first semester in the test. So
Mhm.
just-
And it's hard. I mean, we actually talk about that in high school committee a lot. What is the better semester to have the class in? Do you do it in the spring semester and then you're cutting essentially a month off of being able to prepare?
Right.
Or have the whole time? So it is something we talk about a lot and just trying to find what the best way.
What is the game, I mean, looking at these numbers, it's kind of horrifying.
Yeah, it's a lot.
29%, 30%, I mean, we're better than the state, but even the best in the state is still bad. Like, what is the game plan
Is
for
this a
this?
common thing across the country, or is this
I mean,
a Maryland
this-
state? Because they are very alarming.
It's terrifying to say
If you're only
we're
20-some
29% or,
If you look at some of these, I see numbers that are like 12% proficient.
Yeah.
Like that's unsatisfactory across the board. Is it because they don't count towards their grade, so they're not taking it serious, or you're talking about the MCAP that's starting to add some of them does count towards it? Like, what is the issue here? Because as Ms. Cape says, it's very alarming. Like, these numbers are not good. Whether we're 8th in the state and 2nd on the shore, with the numbers the rest of the state, we should be 1st and 100%. And if that's what Maryland looks like, why are people coming here for education? Because it doesn't look good across the board. It's very eye-opening, and I hope the citizens see it, because I don't know what the answer is. That's why I'm asking. Is this something common across the country? Is kids not just, or students not taking it serious? Is that why they started making it part of the grade? Because if not, I feel like, I'm not saying like us as teachers or the board or anything, but I feel like at that point we're failing our next generation.
It's been this way across the state since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been improving since COVID, but it took a big dip around COVID.
So we're fighting a lot of variables with this, and we could sit here and make excuses, but we're also solution and sort of task oriented, and one of the issues I do believe is the test. I think we see that with the scores so low, especially when you look at our own iReady data when we have presented that to the board before, and you look at pre-test, mid-year, and then end of year, and you look at the growth students are making. What we're interested in doing is trying to see how our own proficiency levels from iReady match up to what they're scoring on these tests. I don't think that we can ignore the fact that the state continues to change the test on us, and they're going to again in another
how
year.
are you supposed to compare?
Because
There's
it's not the
absolutely no way
same-
you can compare
Right,
data.
because it's not the
Like-
same information.
So are they making it harder? Are they making it, try to make the scores look better when they're really not? Like what?
that's the question we're fighting. And so it's why I hesitate to make too many excuses,
Yeah.
but we do talk about as superintendents that, sometimes you talk I was saying this to Dr. Schreckengoss this morning, you talk about the goalposts moving, right? We're not moving goalposts, we're changing fields.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, and that's a whole different issue. And again, now I'm getting into that, making excuses, which I don't want to. We are proud that we're top 10 in the state, second on the shore, but again, it's not something we can be satisfied with. And what we're trying to do, talk about priorities for the year around student achievement, is just having all of our team of administrators, central office administrators, school-based administrators, focused on what are our district goals, what are our individual school improvement plan goals, and all being on the same page to try to move the student achievement forward. I think that's something that we've been missing in the district, and I'm hoping it's going to take time to see that play out. But that's what we're doing. It's not a top-down approach that Dr. Schreckengoss and what we say goes or anything like that, but it's a team approach where we're all working on it together and trying to be on the same page in the schools using our district math and reading specialists. But going to your point, the evidence is there with the high school biology and government. You can't ignore that. You make that a part of the grade and look at those proficiency.
Does the state transparent in the fact they'll release how they're doing this, so someone can actually get a handle on what they're doing, like how they're coming up with these numbers and why they're changing the test, or no, that's
difficult to get clear answers on.
And another thing is the math test is adaptive. So as a student answers a question, whether they get it right or wrong, that kind of sends the path of what's going to happen next. So we can't even say universally, this is the test that every 7th grader takes, because every 7th grader's test adapts a little differently as they go through it. So the analysis of the end result is more difficult for us than it used to be.
And then for these, I think we talked about it before, so the kids, like you said, when it's adaptive, it goes to the next, but like when we used to take a test, you were able to go back and check your answers. Like, they can't go back,
Cannot
right?
do that with it.
They just have to go forward. So even if you're like, oh wait, I forgot, you can't go back. So you already like penalized on.
Those features change all the time too.
And the other thing we talk about too, if you look at the math test, you could argue, that one of our intelligence supervisors says this, that testing math is the third thing that the test is asking for.
Mhm.
It's asking, can you use technology? Can you read?
Right.
And then can you do the math question?
Okay.
Right.
Because if the reading proficiency is not there, the students are going to have trouble with the math portion as well. And it's something that we all have to keep in the back of our minds as we do all of this. So the test is not just necessarily testing the content. There's a lot of outside factors in all of this.
Because then at that point, I heard it from my own daughter, like I just guessed. I didn't know what that meant, or we've never learned that, so I just guessed.
I see these numbers and I feel like, everybody talks about Queen Anne's education system. We have phenomenal teachers and everything.
Yes.
There's no reason why we shouldn't be number one in the state. People move here in droves to come to our education system, and seeing these numbers and being 8th, like, great, we're top 10, but with these numbers, I personally expected them to be way higher, and I'm sure that several other folks do too. And I understand things are moving, changing fields that you mentioned. It's crazy to me. These numbers are absurd. I got it. I'm not laying the blame on anybody. I'm not saying that. It's
just please know we are committed to figuring this out, and we do
I'm not
believe
taking
our
anything from
teachers
you
are
guys.
phenomenal.
We have great teachers, great staff, everything like that. It's just
yes.
That's why I said maybe we need to talk to the state, lobby the state, get more counties involved, and kind of get a handle on it, because if they keep changing, like you said, these numbers can be skewed from one year to another too.
Yeah. Other questions?
Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Watkins. Back up again.
Good evening again.
Thank you.
For the record, Rob Watkins, Interim Chief Financial Officer, and I'm back here to present to you the fiscal year 26 current expense reports. Each month, we will come to you and share with you the expense report so we can follow along the spending as the year progresses. It allows a formal way for the board, the community, our administrators, our students, and our staff to follow along our spending. A couple of things I'd like to highlight. So I've been sitting in the seat for 6 months, and we've changed a couple of things since I come on. And I wanted to share with you that we've made a concerted effort to move as much spending to a purchase order process as we could. It both strengthens the approval processes, and it encumbers dollars to help us see our spending going forward. So we've had a significant increase in the number of POs during fiscal year 26. I'd also like to tell you that I came to you last month and we talked about blueprint and how the allocations came to be. We are also needing to be in compliance by December 1st, 50% better than where we were last year, and we're on progress to do that. And we need to be showing 75% spending at the school level by the end of this year. It's a pretty big undertaking. We are changing the budget code system and changing the reporting structures and everything in the accounting process to get us to a place where we are reporting accurate numbers and recording numbers to where they should be. So look forward to sharing more with that as that kind of progresses. The AIB is certainly going to be talking with all the districts who are in the middle of going through conferences, and ours is coming too. We will continue to monitor spending and make adjustments as such. I came before you earlier, and I appreciate the approval of the budget transfer. It will be the first one this year. There will be more to come, and that's not a bad thing. Just shows evidence that we're monitoring and making adjustments as needed. This was for information only, and there is no action needed.
Thank you for bringing this back to us.
Sure.
I have a question.
Sure.
Student transportation is kind of low.
That is correct. The contracts had not been encumbered yet in the contract. They are encumbered now in today's spreadsheet. So the contracts for them are in there now.
I'll just add too. So
we have until the end of September to get all that figured out. Going through a process with the bus contractors.
Gotcha.
So you referenced your blueprint presentation, and just if anybody goes back to their notes or anybody that might be watching, we did say originally that we were going to do the second piece of that presentation this month. Mr. Watkins and I talking about it. I asked to put that off one more month. Part of that is just so we can get a better picture, be as close to finished with the work that he's doing to present where we're at. We also have a progress meeting of blueprint implementation in Queen Anne's County Public Schools with members of the AIB on October 15th. We thought it would be beneficial to have that meeting where the finances will be part of that discussion. We thought it would be beneficial to have that, the results of that to talk about when we do that presentation as well. So it wasn't anything other than we just thought it was better timed in the next month.
Cool. Any other questions? You were going to say something?
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cursive writing. Jeez.
Well, that was your all's agenda item, so I don't know if you want to lead it off, but Dr. Schreckengoss has some points to make too.
That would be nice, because the question was, how are we implementing that curriculum?
Well, we're ready.
All right, let's go.
All right, so the Maryland College and Career Ready Standards state in second grade in the writing standards that students should be producing writing that is legible, including the correct formation of cursive letters. In third through fifth grade, the state standards say that students should be applying cursive handwriting skills neatly and legibly when handwriting is preferable or technology is unavailable. So it's very clear from the state that this should be happening. When this was entertained by the General Assembly in 2022, some of the concerns that school districts had were, when we implement cursive, it's number one, going to take time away from something else that we're teaching. And it could also be an expense to us if we have to buy curricular materials or materials of instruction. The great news for Queen Anne's County is that in 2023, when we adopted the Inter-Reading program, that comes with cursive instruction built into the program. So our second graders, beginning mid-year, get 4 days of cursive instruction every week through the end of the school year. And then in third through fifth grade, cursive is offered at least 2 times a week as a may-do activity during small group rotations. But we also know that learning to print and manuscript is important, so it's differentiated for students who still need practice there. And we also know keyboarding skills are important, so those things are taught as well. So we're covering the gamut. We are meeting the state standards, and it was done very seamlessly through the introduction of the Inter-Reading program in our elementary schools.
So my daughter is in third grade, and she did have some cursive towards the end of second grade.
Yes.
But now third grade, the whole month I asked her, have you been doing any courses? She's like, we haven't done any. So is it like, I wonder if it's planned for at some point? You were saying they do it a couple times. I don't know if it's scheduled for the year or whatever. I was excited and then.
Right. I can't say that. I know it is part of the structured literacy block in second grade. As I said, they get it 4 of 5 days in the week, and that once they get to 3rd through 5th grade, it is more of a rotation.
Okay.
So maybe we're getting settled in the year, and then once we get a little deeper into our writing skills, that will be an option.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I just,
sure.
a lot of, that came up a lot with charter school, as something that should be taught. So, and I thought we did teach it, so it's good to know that we do. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
At this moment, do we have any other public comments?
Finish what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris Blunt, Churchill. Back to what I was saying. All right, Mr. Dreyer, while you stated if it's important to you, shouldn't someone find the time? Many parents avoid BOE meetings because they fear retaliation if their child attends Queen Anne's County Public Schools, fear their voices aren't heard or valued, have lost confidence in the board's or administration's willingness to listen. I'd like to know how many current board members regularly attended meetings to speak before running for office. Ms. Capes, you acknowledge that you only know about the charter school because you're on the board is valuable, and not a lot of parents, voters, or taxpayers are aware of the charter school's proposal, and it's not because they don't care, they just don't know. The BOE has failed to adequately inform the community about educational options and opportunities for input. The need for additional education options is evident. Queen Anne's County Public Schools continues operating numerous trailers, creating unsafe and non-conducive learning environments. School facilities are in desperate need of repair. Classroom sizes continue to swell without adequate solutions other than kicking the can down the road. The system needs more teachers and support services, yet the school system continues to reduce staff. Safety infrastructure requires improvement. Mold issues appear to be inadequately addressed. Maryland report cards does not reflect positive changes. Despite these critical needs, the BOE prioritized $20+ million new administrative building, sacrificing the many needs of the school system for self-interest. The BOE has systematically silenced dissenting voices by changing meeting rules to avoid answering public questions, applying rules inconsistently based on whether speakers support the board, limiting meaningful community input, or important decisions. Furthermore, the vote on the charter school application appeared predetermined, with side conversations during the meeting potentially violating the Open Meeting Act. The board's selective application of rules demanding answers from charter applicants while ignoring community questions and changing rules to avoid accountability demonstrates a troubling double standard. The community deserves better transparency, genuine engagement, and elected officials who serve all constituents, not just who agree with predetermined positions. I would urge the board to reconsider the vote on the charter school. We want choices, and not just choices on homeschool or private school, which are not always options for most. I'd like to make it clear that I support all of you. If you fail, we all fail, right? I come up here and I want to speak to you guys, and sometimes it seems negative because it's like, man, I'm bringing up negative stuff. That's not my intent, but people need to hear it. If we come in here and say, this is great, this is great, this is great, you never hear what negative is going on and what people are actually feeling. People don't come to these meetings for this. On a positive note, it's refreshing to see Dr. Kibler, who was a Queen Anne's County employee, go to superintendent. I've advocated for that for a long time. I don't know why we pull from out of county. It makes no sense to me why we try to pull from out of county. I just wish we could spend our money differently. We want our schools to be safe. We want our schools to be staffed. We want our kids learning. We want the infrastructure to be there. And we want these trailers to go away. They are not safe. They're not good for a learning environment. So thank you for your time. Sorry I always come up here with negative stuff. I'm sure I'll have some positive at one point.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Commissioner Liaison Board Meeting attendance.
Can I say something on that?
Is it?
So they,
On which?
on the liaison meeting.
Yeah.
So they have canceled that for next week.
Oof, okay.
And it won't meet again until November 18th, so we'll discuss if it's okay.
Yeah, that we can
We'll wait
move
till
it to the
November
November
one.
meeting.
And I wanted to make, sorry, I didn't prep you for this.
Keep going.
I was going to suggest, so Dr. Schreckengast, we have our first Citizens Advisory Council and School System Improvement Committee next week. I was wondering if maybe we could make a line here for that too.
Sure.
When it's relevant, so
Yeah.
that we can discuss at a board, as a board, the
Yes.
2 members that would like to attend.
Yes.
I didn't forget.
Oh, good job. Thank you.
And then we also have for the board members, if we have people to suggest for that, for those positions.
They have to be from the district, from our district.
No, they just have to be.
No,
From the
they just
county.
have to be
Oh, okay.
in Queen Anne's
From
County.
Queen Anne's County.
Gotcha.
I
From the
misunderstood.
district
Sorry.
and Gotcha.
I have yours.
You have my specs. I have a suggestion for you.
How many are you looking for? For the,
You may each
Everybody
assign
goes.
someone.
Everybody gets one.
If you choose.
but the committee itself, how large or small do you want it? Like, I mean, if you get 5 of us,
So Dr. Truckenhaus is doing something a little different this year, which is good to just try to improve. So we've got the 14 school appointed, the 5 from you also, 19, but we're also looking for alternates. And I don't know if that's the right word, but some partner folks from the schools for when people can attend, because we all know we're busy.
Yeah.
Parents are busy, so to make sure that schools are represented at every meeting.
okay. Awesome.
So do you want to discuss who would like to attend next week? The first meeting of the year?
What time is it? So
6 o'clock in this room, Wednesday the 8th.
are we doing both the meetings or just this?
Yes, so the SSIC begins at 4:15.
4:15.
Yes.
I should be able to go next week. I'll do next week.
Mr. Dreyer and who else?
I can make the probably 6 o'clock one. I can't make the 4 o'clock one.
Evenings are going to be tough. My husband's on the ice at Navy on every Wednesday. So if they're always on a Wednesday, and then he works Tuesday, Thursday night, and then Monday, it's just, anyway. The one on the 8th, I will not be able to.
Okay.
So I get a sitter.
So we have 2.
Okay, great, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
And then the next one is November
The next board meeting,
CAC and SSI.
the CAC.
It is typically the Wednesday after the board meeting,
okay.
yes.
So the next board meeting is November the 5th at 6 p.m. So it would be the
It
following.
should be on the, yes, on
The
the
12th.
12th.
12th,
That's exactly
okay.
right.
Okay.
I should be able to do. I got it. I have
All
advance.
right, we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
All right. Anything we missed? Last chance to make a plea. No, I'm just kidding. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion for the Queen Anne's County Board of Education to adjourn the October 1st, 2025 open session at 7:57 p.m.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, and we will see you next week, next month.